This is the ZeroWater 5-gallon water cooler filter. You have to use your existing water cooler, and mine is an old water cooler. It's a Whirlpool, but it really works good. And this top, the ZeroWater, is universal, supposed to fit all the water coolers, but it don't exactly. Okay, because let me show you down here. Because it drops out in there. See, inside there's a little cup, an upside down cup, and that lifts up to cut the water off from this, so when it goes down into your cooler. And so your cooler has to be at least 6 inches deep down in the hole here where your jug goes for this to work. However, you can get around that, and I'll show you how. But then next thing is, mine was 6 inches deep. I had plenty of room in there for that cup. But my problem was, this does not belong here, okay? I made this. The bottle is supposed to sit directly onto the cooler, but I could actually see air. I could actually see down in where the water is in a crack right here on each of the 4 sides of this, because the cooler is square and my old one is round, and right there. So I had to make a gasket basically, but the gasket also lifts it up 2 inches. So if your thing is not deep enough inside, make a gasket like this. Now let me show you what I did to make the gasket. Oh, and I'm going to just show you the cooler. You know, it's a big old cooler. It's got 2 of the filters like you'd normally have in the Zero cooler picture. And you just pour your water in the top. Oh, I got the measuring thing here. You measure your water with. Just pour your water in the top. It comes down the filter, comes out there, and it's good, clean. It measures 0. I'm not going to show you, but it measures 0. My regular water measures 56, and it comes out of this thing 0. And the nice thing about the cooler is you got hot and you got cold. So it's not just room temperature, it's actually refrigerated. If you want room temperature water, then you use this thing over here. You got this thing here by the sink. This is nice. This is glass. So here's room temperature ZeroWater, and we can pour the water right out of that and put it into our coffee maker over here. So that's why I got the ZeroWater. It's mainly for this coffee maker, because if you put you have 0 dissolved solids in your water, so you don't have to descale your coffee maker, and it will not ever clog up if you're putting ZeroWater in it to begin with. So that's the main, and it just tastes better with the ZeroWater. Your coffee does. You really get to taste the coffee, not your water. It's really good. I got a mess here. I've been making coffee. Don't pay any attention to that. Anyway, let's get back to the cooler. The gasket. Okay, the gasket I made right here. Let me get the. When I was unpacking it, you came with this. This came to the top and the bottom. See, this fits up here when it's packed, but it also fits the container right here perfectly. Right there. See how that is? And if you look in here, what you see in there, that's actually the styrofoam. And then I wrapped the styrofoam with white vinyl tape just to make it look nice. And you can't tell really. If I hadn't told you, you wouldn't know. So it looks okay. And it now seals around the bottom. So I mean, it would have worked okay, but I just don't want dust and bugs and anything else crawling in holes into my water. So that'll take care of that. It'll seal up now, and I like this thing. It's working good. It don't hold 5 gallons. It says it's a 5-gallon, but it's actually like 3. The whole size of it's the size of a 5-gallon, but you see, you can't fill it over past here. So that's about 3 gallons when it's full. But it doesn't matter though, because you can just keep adding water to the top. Get my lid back on. Oops. I did want to mention before I go the cost of the water through this thing. Now these filters cost about $10 each. They're kind of expensive, but they do work. So there's $20 because it takes 2 of them. But I figure I can get 40 refills out of this. My water measures 50 on the little meter. Most people measure around 100, 150, but I got good water to begin with. It's 50. So I should get 20 containers at per filter. I got 2 filters, so that's 40 full containers. So what is that? 20, so 50 cents per container for the water, which is a hell of a lot cheaper than buying bottled water, and it's actually cleaner than bottled water. If you test bottled water with this thing, it's not zero. it's like 20, 15, 20, something like that. It's got something in it. So, but this has nothing. So there it is, the ZeroWater 5 gallon for your water cooler. And I'm happy with it. And I covered up my dirty dishes, so you'll never know.